So there you see the new reinforcements for the Kettleers. We'll bring in writer Jon Mettus right now. And Jon, we just sat through the whole resetting that Mike Roberts was talking about. What were a couple of keys that you took away from it?
You know, Coach was really talking about the energy level of the team, the energy level of all the players. And he said, first and foremost, that starts with the catchers. He wants them to be vocal. He wants them to kind of develop a personality out on the field. He wants them to be yelling at all the guys, how many outs are there? He wants to be backing up first base on every play. And he really wants it to seem like these guys, really want to be out there. He said he wants fans to notice. He said he wants people to ask them, oh, why are you sprinting back and forth when you guys are coming off the field? He kind of was talking to him about all these little things that, you kind of get lost when you're going through your career. You've got the talent. All these guys are, big name players, and he wants them to kind of get back down to basics and really, do the little things that kind of make you deserve to be able to play this game. And, that's a lot of what he was talking about. He's going to put a grade up in the dugout after every game, and he's going to grade them. He says he doesn't care. They could win and they could still get a C. It's an ugly win, he called it. They could lose and they can get an A. But he said he's not worried about, wins and losses, just the way that they've been playing.
It's funny, you could talk to Jonathan Waterman, who actually had him as a professor, felt he kind of got a little shafted. He deserved an A, and Roberts ended up giving him, I think, a B plus or something like that. But, that was then and this is now. But, that grading system's actually pretty useful, because we're now starting to get to that point in the season where scouts are starting to show up. You start to see them more in droves as opposed to maybe one or two scouts. And, Roberts, I heard him in the dugout the other day say, he loves the way that the scouts watch his team take infield outfield, because let's say Josh Shaw doesn't get a ground ball at second base all game. Well, at least the scout can evaluate him, how he is in infield outfield. You've been around the team for, I guess, about a year and a half now, or at least this is your second season. When you notice scouts coming to the game, what do they look out for? Because it's not just that plus arm or that plus bat. It's also the little things, too.
Yeah, I mean, you notice at home games here and games that the Kettleers play, there'll be scouts here, 2-3 hours before the game. They'll come to watch batting practice. And I've talked to them about this, and they've said, watching a Mike Roberts team practice is a lot different than watching, Wareham, Bourne, all these other teams. Because he makes his players take, infield, outfield, those little drills all so much more seriously. Because for every guy, a guy might not get in the game, but he's supposed to impress while he's practicing. And he's kind of supposed to showcase himself to everybody that's here, nobody that's here, to himself. Coach Roberts really wants everybody to be giving their full effort on every single play, whether it be in the game or whether it be in practice and those sorts of things.
Now, there's been one guy that has been giving full effort. He comes at least 2 or 3 hours for early hitting, and that's Jaron Kendall, but he hasn't been able to put it together thus far. Kind of a slow start. He's had about a couple weeks off. What have you made about him? What are you noticing about him at the plate that lead to his struggles?
Well, the same thing happened with Jaron last year. He kind of had a slow start and then really started to get things going, hit the line drives into the outfield, was getting triples, things like that. What I've noticed so far, his swing seems to be a little bit slow. He seems to be kind of getting that half swing, a couple times just chopping the ball or either striking out. So I think he's kind of being a little bit too hesitant at the plate, or maybe he's not seeing the ball too well. But, obviously he's a high caliber player. He's going to be playing at Team USA. So, I think you'll see him pick it up in his kind of last couple days here.
All right, that's Jon Mettus. He's a writer for Kettleers.org. We'll be back right after this.